mean, we talk about what Canes has done over his career, but Ty, I remember Madden 18, Madden 19. This was somebody who you did not want to face as we kick things off.
No, you don't want to face Canes in a tournament, man. He has that experience. He's cool, calm, and collected. He just knows how to get the job done. That's why you see him in all these events over the years.
Speaking of Canes, Jordan Powell, 26 years old, a big Chicago Bears fan from the Chicago area, 67,000 and change in career earnings. Classic quarterfinalist in Madden 19. But how about this? He got into day trading after the Madden 21 Club Championships. I mean, this is a multifaceted individual, but the biggest thing that he has on his side is experience. This is somebody who is not flustered easily.
No, he is no stranger to the spotlight. Like I said, this guy's been around the competitive Madden for over 10 years. He is competing in his 8th EA Major, which is a very impressive feat. He says the one thing he hasn't done is won one of these big lab events. He's looking to do that in these next 2 days.
And again, we talk about preparation, we talk about crews all the time, TD. Canes is one of those guys, he labs with some of the best.
Yeah, he does. He's repping that 818 crew. You talked about his day trading, his personal finance. He's actually gotten into that with young Kiv a lot. These guys kind of, thinking outside, getting their finances straight, which you love to see. But yeah, Canes labs with some of the best plays with Henry. He was actually, teaching Henry how to drive a couple months back. So he's super connected with these 818 guys. You know they're going to be very prepared. You know he's going to be great on offense and have adjustments on defense as well.
Let's get things underway as Canes will have the ball first. This is an interesting game. Clef and Canes, I'm interested to get your guys' opinion as to who's going to win this one. Let me start with User. Let's bring in User. User, yeah, you're 0 for 1, but listen, the best part about being 0 for 1 is you can bounce back and get back to 500.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But listen, I'm cool with both these guys. JP Canes, man, that's my man. One of the few guys that I rock with that's not in my circle. But now, come on. We're talking about ClefftheGod. This is top of the top here. Top of the top. Ain't no way I'm going against my guy, man. He gonna bring it home. He gotta get it done. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Canes did go through a gauntlet to get here, but still ClefftheGod, top of the top.
That's User. That's what I was gonna bring up. Let's listen to this road that Canes went through to get here, all right? K-Mac, Pavin, J-Wall, and Allen. And I think all 4 of those guys are probably top 20 Madden players in the world.
Go.
Looking over the top. He might have him. That's Joey Galloway. And Joey Galloway's making a house call like a doctor in the 20s. An absolute dot. Canes showing that he hasn't lost any of the skill. The veteran with the first touchdown of the game.
Going deep early and often. Looked like a cover 3, maybe a cover 4 beater behind the defense on a post route. Clef was not ready for that, caught him off guard, and Canes takes advantage.
Yeah, I'm surprised he was able to get that pass off with Danny Dimes, especially to throw that laser down the field. That's been one of the things that I don't think is, the quarterback arm strength right now is just not where it should be to be lasering that ball down the field. Surprised Canes was able to convert that.
Take a look at this one more time. It's just a little post route. What a move by Joey Galloway. He's able to get over the top of Darrell Reeves and Ed Reed. How good is Joey Galloway, TD?
So much speed. Clef just was not ready for that. He can't believe it. Canes had the little out route to the left to kind of bring the zones back for a second, and Joey Galloway takes the top off the defense.
Canes up 7-0 on, I think, what most people consider one of the best players, maybe the best player to not have a belt right now, ClefftheGod. 25 years old from Edgewater, Florida. A little over $100,000 in career earnings. He was a runner-up in Madden 20 in the challenge, lost to that championship game to Noah. He's a new dad. He's an avid seeker collector. He might be, TD, the most interesting man in Madden.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, look, there's no one that has more confidence, more swagger in Madden than ClefftheGod. And you can see it every time he competes. He has that chip on his shoulder. He is always dialed in, locked in, and he's going to need it because he's going to have to bounce back after Canes' phenomenal first drive.
Oh, Chad, this is going to be weird to ask because we already had a touchdown. But we got to know what you guys think. Put a 1 in the chat if you're taking Canes. Put a 2 in the chat if you're taking ClefftheGod. There's a lot of people at home. 818. They're cheering on their man Canes. And Canes has another 818 member here in the final 8 of the Ultimate Kickoff. Clef's got he laughs with Drini a lot. He coaches at home. Mike Skimbo's watching him. I mean, these guys are 2 of the most well-supported players here in the final 8.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. These guys are prepared. And, you know, there's a reason you see the top elite players year in and year out. It's the same type of guys because they're putting in those hours. They're putting in the lab time. They're networking with each other. They're always talking about Madden. And that's why you see the same guys here. Clef, backed by some of the best in the world, like you said, Skimbo, Dubby, our very own one great user, which I don't know if he still has the skill, Bugs, and then you got Canes, who's backed by that 818 crew. We talked about it, Henry, Kiv, Pavin, Allen. So both these guys are locked in. They're very prepared for this matchup.
I feel like I'm going to have to get back to being users' legal representation because he's taking some shots. Like, Kimmy came in firing, TD's firing. Like, I feel like I gotta stand up for my man, User. User, I got your back, man. I got your back, User. I'm here with you. I'm on Team User.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do
No,
that.
I got you.
I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to tell you this
There
right
we go.
now. You know, Ty is over here popping his gums like I ain't going to tell Will to put me in. What you not about to do is slander me because I ain't in the virtual booth with you. Understands I got connect. I can reach you at any moment. So you might want to watch how you speak on my name. First of all, where did you place in the tournament, huh?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I think I'd rather not place than come in 128.
First of all, they lying about the stats. It's not 128. It's 64 to 128, and they just want to troll me and give me the last spot. That's cool. But I tell you what, pick them sticks up and see what I do to you.
Oh, all right.
Matter of fact, I'm going to get you on next one up, Ty. I'm going to get both of y'all on next one up. I'm getting both of y'all on next one up. Y'all talking all this craziness. Let's go.
Battle of the commentators. We'll be ready. I'm ready.
I did just start playing Weekend League.
Oh,
I might be the
lucky.
one-person
Oh.
user like will dominate on next
He
one.
ran the
I'll
ball.
be that one guy. Put me in, coach. Just don't make me eat anything like too bad, like, because you know I'm gonna be eating it.
Listen,
Fuck
we
that.
putting hot gummy bears up. We bringing that out for y'all too. We putting the hot
The
gummy
one-
bears up. I mean, we bringing that out for y'all too. I think that's what the chat want to see. The chat want to
Make it
see,
happen.
can you deal with the pressure and clutch up?
I'm just saying, the one chip challenge may turn into like the 10 chip challenge if I'm playing. So it's not gonna be pretty. We just gotta talk about how Kimmy came in here like fully
Roasted
armed.
him.
I'm just saying, I'm
Roasted
looking at
user.
the runner's show. I think there was some work behind the scenes to give her ammunition. I feel like there's some collusion going on behind
Tackle.
the scenes.
Come on.
And to be honest, she's been a little bit friendlier here. You know, rehearsals, she was really going at him. She's, you know, cut it back a little bit, but yeah, she's been roasting.
She's like, I gotta work with him for 2 days. I can't ruin this relationship already. Big fourth down here for Clef. How about Keynes' red zone defense? Able to keep Clef on these run plays, go back to that 3-3-5 wide, try to shoot the gap and hold this a 7-point lead.
So that goal line formation, fullback dive.
And it's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry. Oh, they called him short. He
Come on.
didn't get in, and Keynes will take over inside the one.
Goal line stand from JP, aka Canes. That was huge. Clef did a great
Just
job
get me off
moving the ball
line,
down the
so
field.
bro.
But in that red zone at the goal line, Canes buckled up. He got the stop. But now this is a very difficult spot for Canes here. What do you do in this situation? I would maybe just run a QB sneak, a fullback dive, but he looks like he's going to go to the air out of the gun, backed up in his own end zone. This is very dangerous. Clef should send a little pressure at him.
Timeout taken by Keynes. You talked about how tough Keynes' path was getting here. Clef didn't have an easy path either. He had one of those double buys in the single elimination, but then he had to take down some Versace. How about Space Jam, Manu, and then Nash Swervo in that final game? Those are a lot of goons there.
Yeah, that is, and specifically that game against Manu. Those guys have a real rivalry going back to a couple years. Clef able to come out on top, and Canes with a nice dot right there, able to get out of his end zone. Even if he has to punt, that's a fine spot to get out of. You don't want to be backed up in your end zone. Now you have plenty of room to work with.
Trying to get Reggie Bush going on the ground. By the way, can we talk just for 1 second, Ty, about these custom logos the guys got made? I mean, these are absolute fire.
Oh man, they're so cool. We saw Jokes earlier too. You see Clef's right there. Canes, I think, is the coolest. I mean, that fits him really well. But yeah, these custom logos, the whole virtual reality, the whole setup, the presentation is the word I'm looking for there. from the MCS season here in 22 has been awesome.
I'm just saying, like, get me a logo made. I want it to be a big M eating a pizza. Let's go. 2nd and 7.
Haymaker, bro.
All the time in the world. He could set up a picnic in the backfield with how much time he had. Good defense by ClefftheGod. He's facing a 3rd and 7, looking to get off the field.
Yeah, and the one thing that's interesting, too, is we've seen a lot of the bunch offset from the Colts playbook. Canes, though, here you can see him, he's in the regular gun bunch. The running back is not offset. He's actually in the Seattle Seahawks offensive playbook. He likes to audible over to this gun bunch tight end formation as well. Look for the curl flat combo here on this crucial 3rd and 7.
It's just good defense. Left playing really good defense. Oh, the late playmaker, and Hester makes the catch. It's a 1st down for Canes. A little bit of a Houdini act for the offense.
That's that veteran savviness by Canes. He's been around the block. He rolls out, makes something happen with the playmaker. A little bit of a freestyle. Little throwback right there to his guy, Serious Mo. Those guys go way back. That's a Serious Mo type of play right there. And Canes able to convert, moving the chains, keep this drive going.
Canes rocking a very similar offense you're going to see today. Wide receivers, Galloway, Roy Williams, Devin Hester, Reggie Bush at halfback, Derrick Henry for their short yardage situation. Really dialing in with, how about Darren Waller and George Kittle can go to a 2 tight end set if necessary.
Yeah, he can, and that Darren Waller's a beast. And Canes, being a diehard Bears fan, loving his Devin Hester out there, rocking him in the slot with that slot apprentice ability, going to audible over to the bunch tight end once again.
I would also like to point out, he's got Kyle Trask at backup quarterback. So if that ever becomes a need, he might have another ball. Galloway all the way to the end zone. It's a bull market for Canes as he goes up by 2 scores.
2 bombs for Canes. Clef just not prepared. Canes came cooking, dialing it up, cover 3 beaters over the top. Clef is just caught off guard to start this game early. You can't give up these free, easy, big play touchdowns in a game like this.
Said he quit Madden. He went to day trading. Said he didn't even think he'd make it this far, but he's proven that he's no fluke. He's got some skills, and he's got the preparation behind those skills. As one more time, Danny Dimes with an absolute beam.
Yeah, the post route again, it was glitchy. He kind of cut really fast to the outside behind the defense. Joey Galloway lit up and just way too much speed. I think our guy Canes has been in the lab. He's got something really nice here on offense.
How can Clef answer?
D. Come on.
Canes, big shed on the interior. There's that Montez Sweat again. He is becoming a problem on defense.
Yeah, that Montez Sweat is an absolute beast. You saw it on Joke's defense in our first game of the night. Just so much speed. I mean, Montez Sweat, absolute freak athlete. Definitely a guy you want to add to your ultimate team roster.
Right side. That's Reggie Bush. ClefftheGod again. So close to winning that belt in Madden 20. Had a great run in Madden 22. But just look at this murderer's row that Canes had to go through. 2 crewmates, Jay Wall and K-Mac, and he won all those games, all scoring 25 plus.
Yeah, by far the hardest road we've seen of the 8 finalists. There's been some tough roads too, and that is just on another level. Took down 2 club champions, took down K-Mac, who's won a club multiple times. I mean, just absolutely stacked. Allen, who we saw in the Madden Bowl last year, one of the best young talents, and Canes took them all down. He's back with a vengeance this year. You know, Canes had somewhat of a down year last year, had some success outside the MCS, but MCS goes, he hasn't been that good in the last few years, so he's really bounced back in 22.
No, man.
Oh,
25, bro.
That's Williams with the catch. Feed him down. Nice play for Clef. And Canes looking at this defense going, how do you leave Roy Williams open?
Yeah, roll out, corner route right there. The zone just kind of left him at the last second. Clef takes advantage. Nice dot to the outside. And with the one thing we know about Clef, man, he's got that chip on his shoulder. He's a fighter. He's always confident. He could be down by 30, and you can't really count Clef out. He's just built for the moment, but he needs 7 points on this drive.
Clef, very similar setup, personnel-wise. That's Reggie Bush. He's got Hester, Williams, and Galloway at wide receiver. He's rocking George Kittle instead of Darren Waller. We've seen a lot of people switch to that Waller, but Clef still trusting Kittle to be the one to run those routes.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with George Kittle. Has him with that that tight end apprentice there, so he can put him on some different routes, post routes, corner routes, sticking to that inside zoning. Clef, I was a little bit surprised. Last year, he ran a lot of the Seattle bunch, which is what Canes is running, but he felt that the bunch offset is just too good, so he switched over to the Colts playbook.
Offensive abilities, he's got inside dead eye and set feet lead on Jones, short in, mid in on Roy Williams, outside and slot apprentice on Hester, has no abilities on Kittle, has 3 post-ups on the offensive line.
Yeah, which is interesting. I'm surprised he invested that much into an offensive line because the edge protectors really aren't that effective here in Madden 22. Post-up is probably the best offensive line abilities you can get.
He must have tight end apprentice on Kittle. He didn't list it, but he must have it. He might be trying to hide that one for the people at home. But I see that big star under 85. I know he's got something out there.
Yeah, we see it. He's going to cook up some of that stuff, post route, corner routes, out of that tight end spot. A lot of flat routes as well. Going to the weak eye twin tight end formation here. See if he can pound it in. He needs 7 here. You cannot kick a field goal on the spot if you're Clef. He's already been stopped down here at the goal line, but he's got to punch it in.
This half going quickly. 14-0, Canes on top. And Clef will take a timeout. Gonna rethink the strategy. He got stuffed on that earlier drive. How about the red zone defense? Something that is very tough here in Madden 22. Canes is able to find some.
Yeah, he was. That was a huge stop. And Clef gonna call timeout. I think he's gonna go back to the single back deuce close, audible over to the goal line. Expect another fullback dive here, maybe a power O. But this is 4 down territory.
Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry doesn't need 4 downs. He only needs 1. The King into the end zone. ClefftheGod is on the board, cutting into this Canes lead.
And that's just great roster building strategy right there by Clef. Get Derrick Henry on your team, 6'4", about 240 pounds. Going to truck his way into the end zone. Big answer from Clef.
But now 47 seconds left. Clef's got to shore up the back end of that defense, TD. He's given up 2 cover 3 bombs, 2 easy reads from Canes.
Yeah, and the one thing we know about Clef is he's one of the best adjusters in the world. He's going to be able to adjust to what his opponent is doing, as you see here. Easy fullback dive. Derrick Henry pounds his way into the end zone. Clef back in this game. But like you said, he cannot give up any more of these deep bombs to Canes. And I said it, Clef is one of the best adjusters in the world. He's going to be able to adjust on the fly to what Canes is doing. So look for him to back off that coverage, play a little bit deeper here.
Canes looking underneath. That's Reggie Bush. Guys, stick around at halftime. Kimmy and User will be with you. Not only will we have more giveaways, but we're gonna have Kimmy and User talking to Joke, who was able to escape with a victory in that first round game. We'll get to hear from Xset's own Joke at halftime. Can't wait to hear what he has to say about a wild first game, TD.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited to hear about that. That was an instant classic, one of the best games we've ever seen in the MCS. And that was only the first game of the whole season, let alone this tournament. Man, we got so many good games in store starting tonight.
Well, that first half was about as quick as I've seen here in Madden 22. 14-7 the score, but Clef is going to get the ball to start the second half. Canes really dominant offensive play, 2 big plays over the top, but Ty, a great answer from Clef.
Yeah, and it was. And he managed the clock well, too. That's very important. He took all of Canes' timeouts, punched it in with about 40 seconds left, and he's going to get the ball to start the second half. So a lot of momentum is shifted towards Clef.
Halftime here, 14-7, Canes on top. Ty, you look at that score, it would seem that Canes is dominating, but this still seems like a very even matchup going into the second half. Thank you so much, Kimmy and User. Let's get back into it. This game could go either way. Nick Mazesco, Tyler Davis along with you. How about Clef and Canes battling out, TD? It was Canes able to get 2 big touchdowns over the top, but Clef, this is a huge drive to start the half, TD, to tie this game up.
No doubt about it. Absolutely huge drive. Clef has a little bit of momentum, but Canes has been easy for him on offense, right? 2 of those deep, skinny posts over the top. Clef did a great job managing the clock. He's going to get the ball here to start. See if he can beat this 1-4-6 defense that Canes is bringing out. We saw the 140's been popular the last few years. I didn't think it'd be as popular this year, but I like it. Make Clef work out of this. You're going to have 6 DBs on the field. Actually, maybe even more than that because you get him at linebacker, but you're going to have a lot of DBs on the field here to defend Clef's bunch offset.
Look at left side. That's Hester! And a big catch in traffic. Devin Hester down to the 38-yard line. What a play for ClefftheGod.
That's a hot dot. Tampa 2, cover 2 look from Canes. The wheel route to the bunch side gets outside of that deep half. Clef converts it for a nice dot down the sidelines to Hester.
ClefftheGod, of course, biggest thing for him. He's talked about his Madden career. He talks about how much he wants that belt, but he became a dad earlier this year. And Ty, watching him interact with his new baby, who's now getting, by the way, growing at an alarming rate. He's going to be playing football soon, I know it. As he looks over the top for Williams, that's a touchdown for Clef. We'll call that one a touchdown for baby Dwayne into the end zone. Clef, a great dad and a great Madden player.
Yeah, baby Dwayne might be watching on, supporting as you see his dad roll out to the right, kind of off his back foot, leaning back, throw an absolute laser to the pylon on the corner route, and Clef ties it up just like that a little bit over a minute into the second half. Oh man, we have a good game here.
I'm just saying.
If I score again, this game is over.
You got to think Giants fans at home are going, Danny Dimes can make that throw? Wait a second. Hold on. Daniel, I'm going to need you to make that throw in NFC East gameplay.
Yeah, take a look at this. Rolls out off his back foot, leaning back on the run. Just a dot to Roy Williams, corner of the end zone. Clef fired up, and we have a tie ball game.
First down at 10 for Canes back on offense. You got to think for Canes, having that murderer's row getting to this tournament, as somebody who, he said he didn't have a lot of
confidence. Going right back to it.
He might have it again. He absolutely did. You got to think that first half really settled him down, really gave him that confidence, especially after going through all those players in single elimination. You got to think Canes is feeling really good about his play right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And he really has something here that I don't think Clef has seen, because he's going to keep going right back to this post route, deep to Galloway. This time he's going to use a little motion, look for the flood concept here. But, man, his offense is firing on all cylinders out of that bunch tight end.
That's all right.
Let's also point out, Clef running that 3-3-5 wide defense, that Mike Blitzo, that's sort of the meta blitz right now. It does get beat by some of these cover 3 beaters. Are we going to see Clef mix up his defenses here in the second half?
Yeah, I think he needs to, because he hasn't really seen that deep post, and it's kind of getting behind his zones. Interesting, too, Clef isn't really audibling over from regular 3-3-5, so he's actually keeping 2 linebackers to the outsides of that 3-3-5 wide. You see most players kind of get safeties over there in that 3-3-5 normal and then audible over, but he's not doing that, keeping the linebackers out there and using, of course, with that Cam Chancellor in the middle.
How good is that Cam Chancellor, by the way? Got it fully powered up at level 50. That dude's tough.
Yeah, you guys got to get him on your team if you haven't. He's unbelievable.
I got to go kick some field goals. Right side, that's Reggie Bush. Another first down for Canes. Canes, he always has been that guy, TD, and it's actually kind of an 8-1-8 mantra. It seems like all those guys, Canes and Kiv and Henry and Wesley, they're so even-keeled during the game.
Oh, yeah, super calm. JP's always been like that. He's a laid-back type of dude. But when he's locked in, man, he's firing on all cylinders. That's why he's made so many of these events, right? He's always consistent, and he doesn't beat himself. He doesn't do too much. Doesn't beat himself. And he's smart. Right there, a normal Madden player would throw that right there.
I would have made that throw. I would have ripped that ball. I was like, here you go.
He would have threw that playmaker route, and then Clef would have clicked on and made a nasty user lurk. But Canes, being a veteran of the sport, he's going to take what the defense gives him. He's going to go out of bounds, and he's going to live to fight another down. That's why JP has been in so many big events, been on the main stage so many times, because he just knows how the game works, and he's not going to beat himself.
14 apiece. I don't know if I can take another overtime, TD. I don't know if I can take it. These guys are evenly matched as well. They're trying to kill me out here, Tyler Davis. I'm struggling with these close ball games.
I had a feeling with the way the Madden 22 meta kind of is, we're going to see a lot of close, high-scoring games. Love the route combination, by the way, right there from Canes. For the chat, for the viewers out there, when you see zone defense, a curl-flat combo is one of the best ways to beat zone. Canes goes to it on the backside, low passes the curl route.
Back underneath to Reginald Bush. Clef's going to have to find something, but you got to think this is an improvement for Clef for the first half, because he's not giving up those big chunk plays over the top.
And Nick, you pointed out earlier, you talked about this clock management really coming into play, and that was a perfect example right there. Canes actually went down with his running back a yard short of the first down so that he could get it wouldn't be first down yet. He can waste this whole third quarter, take this to the fourth, because Canes wants to make this the last possession of the game if possible. He's really starting to utilize that clock, and that just goes to show more of his veteran experience.
Well, that's the end of 3. It's time to head to our fourth quarter, and that fourth quarter is presented by Snickers. Snickers satisfies 14 apiece, anyone's ball game, but Canes right now on the drive.
And no matter who comes out of this victorious, that matchup tomorrow against Joke, that's going to be must-see TV, high-level Madden.
Bunch on the short side as Canes going to work once again. Maybe a little pressure here from ClefftheGod. It seems like Cleff has mixed up the defense enough where Canes is starting to have to get outside the pocket with Daniel Jones.
Yeah, and that's what the Cleff is the king of. He knows how to adjust. He's doing that exactly here, taking away those deep skinny posts. Canes, a lot of bunch to the short side now. Now he's going to audible back over to that bunch tight end.
26 years old, 8 EA major appearances for Canes. So good. Madden 18-19, this guy was unstoppable as Jones scrambled to the 26-yard line, pick up another first down. The 2-time Bears Club champion. This is one of those guys that if you picked up watching Madden maybe last year and Madden 20, you might not know Canes' name, but Ty, when I got into broadcasting the MCS in 19, this was the guy to watch. This was the guy that everybody was saying was next to win a belt.
Yeah, it really is. And, you know, to me and Canes' careers kind of parallel a little bit. He's obviously been way more successful in the MCS.
Pat your own back. Jeez, Tyler Davis.
But me and him go way back. I remember playing him in some online tournaments back in Madden 09, Madden 10. And don't forget, that family over there is a great Madden family. You guys, most of you will know his brother Suspect, who was a former Niners Club champion. So that Powell family, they know how to play Madden. They've been consistent for years now. Like I said, Canes has been around close to 10 years in Madden, always doing it on the grand stage.
I'm just saying, he's a Madden player, he's a day trader, he's a driving instructor. I will say, if Henry gets into any accidents early in his driving career, we know who to blame.
Exactly, we know who to call. You love to see it though, helping out his guy to drive. That's awesome. That's the brotherhood that these type of guys have too with his 818 crew. We talked about him and Kiv getting into some day trading. You got him and Henry driving together. These guys talk to each other day in and day out, not just about Madden, but real life topics also.
$3:15 to go. Ty, this game has been incredibly quick. These guys have used plenty of clock here in the first 3 quarters.
Yeah, and that goes to show that these guys know what they're doing. They've been around the block. They know how the game works. They're going to use that clock because they want to limit possessions of their opponent. The most important thing.
Oh! Crazy lurk from ClefftheGod! Gotta see a lurk from home. Cleff with the acrobatic catch.
The lurk heard round the community. Cam Chancellor, you don't test Cleff's user over the middle. He's one of the best users ever in the history of competitive Madden. Canes tested him. Cam Chancellor pays it off for Cleff, and now he can have the final possession potentially here.
One more time. Crazy play with Cam Chancellor. Saw the curl route and said, give me that.
And a lot of guys have asked, should we put Acrobat on our user? I think Cleff answers that question. Acrobat pick, and now he's in business. Can potentially win this game here.
Yo, I don't know if Acrobat will help my user. Can I get Cleff to be my user, though? I'm just saying, it helps when you got somebody working the sticks like ClefftheGod.
Yeah, man, he has one of the best users, bar none, in the Madden community. And this is the thing that we talked about with Cleff. He goes down 14-0. You think, oh, man, Canes has this easy. But Cleff is just built for these type of moments. He's a fighter. He's got that chip on his shoulder, fought back, and now he puts himself in an opportunity to win, and he's going to use this clock.
Hey.
Back foot throw, dangerous play. Oh, that should have been picked off. Canes can't believe he doesn't have possession right now. By the way, ready for this, Ty? Cleff got asked top 5 players entering the season. He didn't even put himself in the top 5. Stop me when you get to a name that you think sounds suspect. Number 1, Drini Joka. No surprise there. Number 2, Jaywall. Number 3, Henry. Number 4, Wesley.
God.
Number 5, Boogs.
Boogs at the 5 spot. Hey, that's respect. He's respecting the OG. What's wrong with Boogs?
Respect your elders. Respect your elders. But shout out to my guy Boogs. I know he's watching at home. Just know, Boogs, that's how good Clef is to you. He put you at number 5. You think users putting Boogs at number 5 on any list?
Oh, no. No shot.
2-minute warning.
Good stuff.
Clef back to pass. Look at left side. Look at left side. Devin Hester is the bester. Down to the 25-yard line. You know it hurts Canes to get beat by a Chicago Bear.
Clef absolutely clutch. 4th and 4 for the game, and he threw a post route laser over the middle. This time, Canes goes back to that Tampa 2 defense out of the 1-4-6. Clef did this earlier, does it again. Wheel route to the sidelines, and Hester hangs on, forcing Canes to use his second timeout. So now, one more first down. It's going to seal it for Clef.
It was one mistake from Canes here in the second half.
Oh, get out the way.
And it's
Get out the way.
Ty, it's hard to call that a mistake. It was one heck of a defensive play from Clef.
It really was. It wasn't a horrible read by any stretch. He was just a little late with it, but man, the user pick from Clef, the diving interception, it was more. You got a bit more credit to Clef's user skills on that play.
$1:47 left in this second game of the day. Look to the flat, Reggie Bush. Wow, what a tackle. That was Philip Buchanan with the tackle. A yard shy of the first down. 3rd and 1 for Clef.
And Clef right here is 1 yard away from a spot in the Final Four and a date with Joke. Going to go to that single back, deuce close it looks like. Expect him to audible over to goal line, fullback dive, Derrick Henry up the middle. Canes has to run commit, has to stuff the middle.
And he tries. Henry fighting. I don't know if he got the first down there. I think he's short. 4th and a yard. Canes has life. What does Clef do here?
Canes has life, and it's not out of the realm of possibility here for Clef to go for this. With how offensive Madden 22 is, you're giving Canes a lot of time with the ball, kicking this field goal, but you got to think Clef. He trusts his user, his defense so much that he's going to kick this field goal, but he's going to take this all the way down, call timeout, and think about it.
Uses that entire clock, and he's going to send out that special teams unit. So Canes throws a pick. Clef goes down and gets a field goal. Canes has life, TD. You can't ask for much more if you're Canes. 44 seconds. He only needs a field goal.
And you heard Canes just say he was very thankful that Clef kicked the field goal. That's why I think Clef maybe go for that and really end it. You're giving Canes 44 seconds here. We saw how potent his offense is with those deep posts. Plenty of time.
That 8-1-8 crew, you know right now, they're screaming for their boy Canes. This is a tough defensive spot, TD, because if you're Clef, you can't drop all your zone drops back because Canes can dink and dunk his way down the field and get into field goal range.
Yeah, again, with how high-powered those running back routes are, you can get out of bounds easily on a lot of them and move the ball down the field, and you only need 3 points.
Had the tight end A to the right side. I'll have to throw that one away because it looked like, I don't know if that was Roy Williams. Roy Williams went out of bounds and came back in, so he couldn't even complete that pass. It's 2nd and 10.
And I don't love the play call right there. You just had 2 deep crossing routes. Cleft is expecting those deep routes. You got to have something underneath also and try to make a move or try to get out of bounds. Cleft going to send a little pressure now from his outside linebackers.
Picked up pretty nicely. Looks right side. He's got Williams, and Williams with a stone-cold drop. We like twitch drops, TD. We don't like to see those drops.
I think that was best case scenario, though, for Canes. If he catches that, he's getting tackled immediately with the runoff. He's going to only have pretty much 1 play left. So I think that worked out in Canes' favor.
They're down to 10. More heat sent. Going to look to the same side. That's Williams. Great tackle, though. It's in bounds. He's going to have to spike the ball. Only a 6-second runoff, so he's going to go right back into the gun bunch. 17 seconds and counting. Jones outside. Instant pressure from ClefftheGod.
What?
And
got
they gave him that.
Grounding.
Wow.
So bad, bro.
That might just about do it right there. If you're Canes, you got to go back to that bunch tight end, deep post. You got to give yourself a shot. Hope that it can get by the defense because This is not working right now. Cleff is sending pressure. He's allowing anything over the middle, nothing to the sidelines.
Look at all those deep zones. He's happy to give something underneath here. Second and forever. He's hit as he throws. Incomplete pass. Cleff 10 seconds away from an extra $5,000 and a spot in the Final Four.
This is just excellent game management and strategy by Cleff. He's sending pressure, leaving the middle of the field wide open, backing off his defense and covering the sidelines so Canes can't get out of bounds. He's kind of stuck in no man's land. This is why Cleff is elite, doing a great job right here as this game approaches the end.
8 seconds and counting. Does Canes have a miracle left in him? Looks up the sidelines. He's got him, man. That's Williams, but he's out of bounds. 3 seconds left. 3 ticks away from a Datewood joke.
He didn't.
That could have been the dot he needed. If he gets his feet in bounds, he's probably in field goal range to tie this thing. Cleff is very fortunate. Now it's a tough spot. Canes either going to go deep or hand the ball off, try to make something happen.
It's a play action, and he's absolutely screamed at. And ClefftheGod goes down 14-0 but scores 17 unanswered. And he takes the victory and will have a matchup with Joke tomorrow in the Final Four.
They lied to you. He got real cagey. He got real.
No doubt about it. The biggest fighter.
The adjust, the big fuck, Mr. Adjust. He gonna do it. He gonna do it.
You heard it there
Canes.
first. Mr. Adjust, you heard it there first. That's what Cleff does. He's built for the moments. First half didn't go his way. He adjusted in the second half, and that's what he does. He adjusts on the fly, that crazy user pick, and he's headed to the Final Four and a date with Joke.